Hello, this is my journal one. Who am I? Um, Off rip, I'll go for the question one. After reviewing the sheet, the three markers of my cultural identity that are most valuable to me are probably the only one that's like genuinely valuable to me, or I guess I would would come to mind if someone were to ask me like about myself from my perspective or what makes up my being would probably be my social or political viewpoint. Um, I probably identify as I don't know. I guess I'm probably closest to a socialist. I think that's a socialist, or leftist, whatever you want to toss. I don't really mind the labels too much. Um, but I just really the things I do value, I'm fairly uncompromising on, and I do um, genuinely believe my beliefs, and identify a lot of inadequacies in our society and world, and would love to work towards a system that would try to right some of those wrongs to the extent that we can. And then another thing that I value on here, everything else is kind of just not super valuable with me, if I'm entirely honest. But I would say, uh, I'll go body size. I used to be really short for a really long time. Did not love that. As not many people do. And I grew a bit, and I appreciated that. So I'll go for that. And I'll go health status. I have one kidney, so like limits some of my activities. Can't be a raging alcoholic or anything. Can't take too much damage. Have to stay hydrated. I also have to stay really healthy. And from that, I love health and fitness, going to the gym and all that. So I think I do take pride in my health status, and like I guess to an extent overcoming health status. I think is it's a good thing, but also not like super integral to my being. And then three things that aren't or the least valuable to me would probably be also, I mean, parental status is valuable as well. Obviously, I love my family, but I don't know. I don't necessarily if like I'm not parental status, family background. I'm not a parent. I'm not necessarily proud or not proud of that. I don't really care about that either. Um, but something I don't care about, I'll go generation off rip. I think that's really not super important. I think a lot of people will put a little too much importance on it. I think for communication aspects, it's definitely important. But like a lot of people, my generation, other generations, like to blame the generation below them for all their problems, as opposed to looking at the framework that those generations exist under. And uh, what else is invaluable to me? Um, Religious. I'm not religious. I wasn't raised religious. I was raised atheist. Family has some qualms with Catholic Church historically, some abuse and stuff. So definitely staunchly not religious. So I don't value religion personally. I understand that people really do value it, especially for a cultural standpoint. I respect that, but personally, it's not something I do value. And then ethnicity. I mean, my family, even though we do have some quite recent immigration on my mom's side from Ireland to the U.S. or Ireland to Canada to the U.S., it's like two generations back for me. It's my grandma's parents, but it's we don't really have any traditions or culture that transferred. They kind of like tried to integrate as much as they could and shed a lot of that when they came. So for me, it's not something I have very strong ties to or strong feelings in any way. And then for number four, are there any markers of my? Oh no, sorry, number three. But I'll skip one. Are there any parts of my identity I choose to hide? Um, Not really. Pretty much an open book. I mean, most of the things are fairly obvious. I mean, the only things that wouldn't be obvious are like, uh, you can't like just look at someone and tell their socioeconomic class. But I'm not, ashamed or hidden of that. Formal education. I mean, yeah, I don't think there's really anything that I really try to hide. I don't know if that's a acceptable answer. Huh. I guess health status. I mean, I'm not going around flexing like, oh, I have one kidney. I'm not. It's not my in my how am I? But even then, I don't hide it. Yeah, I don't really know. I don't have anything I am super hidden about, especially out of these categories at least. I mean, not everyone's on a fully open book, but when it comes to my cultural identity, it's fairly open, and a lot of it is because like I'm a cis white male. It's like the quote unquote norm, or I guess what's the most socially acceptable and least prejudiced is me. So it makes it very easy to be an open book when you have a lot of privilege. So for me that it's not like I need to hide anything because I'm in probably the most privileged position someone could be as far as a cultural makeup. I mean, a cis white male in the U.S., you're not really needing to hide anything in most of the case. Um, are there any marks of identity that I'm actively working on changing? I don't know. I don't know if there's anything in here that you can really actively change that much other than socioeconomic class or citizen or geographic origin. I mean, formal education. I'm working to get a higher education. Mostly just so I can get a job that's decent in the future, but also because I do genuinely enjoy learning new things and furthering my perspective, and I don't know, just trying to. I feel like getting education kind of helps you be a better person in some ways, so I try to do that when I can. So yes, yeah, furthering education and relations status also, that's always a great thing to work on and look towards is, finding meaningful and lasting relationships, I think is a goal that almost everyone shares. I mean, a lot of people don't respect that, but personally it's something I love to work towards and look for. Which markers of my identity do I think are most interesting and intriguing to other people? Are there certain aspects of your physical identity, your background, people constantly ask you about, and how to respond to them? I mean, not really. I'm pretty boring when it comes to most of the stuff. Except one kidney, that's kind of swag a little bit. Not really. It doesn't really change anything. I just have to drink a little bit more water. I go to the bathroom more. I don't know if that's like anything crazy. Yeah, that's it. I don't know. Sometimes some people ask me about, or run into like a buddy from way back in the day. They're like, "Dude, you're not 5'1" anymore." I'm like, "Yeah, it happened." And that's something I guess that, and then I'll respond to them being like, "Yeah, it finally happened." So I guess that's something people ask me about. But other than that, I mean, I'm fair. I kind of, I don't know if it's intentional or whatever, but I play. I don't play many cards close to my chest. You can kind of like, if you were to look at me and then guess and fill out this sheet, you'd probably get like 90%, 99%. So yeah, I'm a pretty open book. I don't know if it's intentional or if I'm just a goober like that, but yeah, I think that's it. I guess just like I got one kidney. You can't see that unless you got really good vision or something. Um, if you could change your race or ethnicity for a day, what other race or ethnicity would you want to be and why? Ooh, that's. I don't know. I feel bad with that question. I don't know why. It's uncomfortable. I don't know. It depends. Like, would it be like for that day? I would suddenly inherit the memories and traditions and culture that comes alongside with it. Because otherwise, it would just be. I feel like would be not good. um, if I could just like for a day get like an Inception, not Inception, Limitless, like brainwave of a whole nother cultures, experiences, traditions, beliefs, and practices, that'd be awesome. But other than that, I wouldn't really want to, unless it'd be a place that's like, uh, the U.S. specifically has done horrible things, like many countries on Earth, and I wouldn't be welcome to visit, and I would want to visit there. I'd switch to visit. I don't know. If I could change race and ethnicity for a day, I don't know. When I was little, I used to really love Japan because I used to like cars a lot. And in Japan, as a tourist, you really can't go to a lot of really cool places, especially when it comes to cars and stuff. So I guess I'd go to Japan and be a Japanese speaker with the Japanese ethnicity, and like I don't know, actually be able to experience a place to a fuller extent. I guess as a like that's a tourism angle, which I don't think is what you're going for. I really don't know. That's the closest I could do. Is like it'd be very interesting to rewarding and good to experience another culture from an inside perspective, not an outside perspective. So I guess Japan, because that was the culture I used to be not necessarily infatuated with, but I was reading manga and stuff. I was looking at how much it cost to import a car, all that stuff. So I guess I go for that. I hope that I got something out of that rambling. Sorry for having bad answers to a lot of the questions. A lot of them are hard to apply to myself, especially number 5. It's tough because there's really, and the only thing that's like interesting about me are things I actively have to try to make interesting, like hobbies. I crack jokes sometimes, a little bit of a goofy goober, that helps. But other than that, I mean, it's nothing that crazy going on. I hope that I answered stuff sufficiently. If not, let me know. I can redo this, give it another shot. Thank you.